Okay, let's talk about taxes. Everybody loves that, right? In particular, we're going to look at a sales tax here. Most people think income tax, but in terms of my graph, we're talking about consumerism here, quantity supplied, quantity demanded. Let's talk about taxes. So let's say you go down to Walmart or Target or wherever you're going, and you only have $5 in your pocket. $5 cash, that's it. No credit card, no nothing. All right? And you go pick something off the shelf, you take it to the checkout, all right? And they ring it up. How much is it? The price says $5. Do you pay $5? No, you don't. Why? Taxes. You have a sales tax on that. So if all you had was $5 in your pocket and you walked up to the checkout and you're handing over your cash and you say, well, the price was $5. Why is it ringing up, say, $5.39 or $5.25? Let's use even numbers. $5.25. Well, you have the price plus taxes. All right. So how does that work on this graph? Because the price that you see on the shelf is priced at equilibrium. And that's what you decide to buy that quantity. You've reached equilibrium in a graph and you're like, okay, I am going to buy this. I have $5. I'm going to buy this price $5. I'm just going to pay for it and I'm good to go. It's not as simple as that. There's something called taxation. Well, how do we represent that in this graph? Well, taxes draw a wedge between what the price is and what you actually pay. And you actually take on part of the tax, and so does the producer. Now, if the producer said, you know what, I'm going to let you take on 100% of the taxes, it means your price goes up by more. We know the law of quantity demand. It says, hey, my price goes up by more, my quantity demand comes down. They actually know part of that, so they'll take on part of the tax, what we call incidence. Okay? So let's draw a tax wedge in here. All right, and then we get something that looks like this. We have a price that buyers pay. All right, so if this original price was $5.25, or excuse me, $5 rather. All right, and that's what we saw on the price tag. We at checkout end up paying something like $5.25. Make sense? That actually is more representative of what actually happens when we're trying to check out with something. All right. If you have $5 and the price of the item is $5 even, you don't have enough money because you need to be able to pay the price plus the taxes. Well, what is this line down here? This is the price that sellers get. Remember how I said they're going to take a little bit of the tax burden themselves? Well, here it is. Let's say they get, instead of the $5, $4.75. Okay, makes sense, right? $4.75, if I could draw a dollar sign here. $4.75, well, how big is this tax? Well, $4.75 to $5.25, if my math is correct, that's a 50-cent tax. Now, who took on what? We have something called tax incidence. Incidence, I can spell. All right. What does that mean? Tax incidence. Who pays what of the tax? Talking about taxes, man. We ain't talking about the game. We're talking about taxes. All right. Well, look at this. Guess what? The market price actually divides who pays what. You guys love rectangles and squares in terms of area. Well, guess what? Everything $5 and up, this is the price on the shelf. You take it to the checkout, you pay $5.25. So buyers pays this amount. The buyer pays that top amount. Well, it's listed at $5, but the seller only gets $4.75. Who's paying this other 25 cent? Seller. Did you know when things are more expensive, the quantity decreases because of the law of demand? So you had the quantity at equilibrium move from here to the quantity post-tax to here. So we had a decrease. Well, let's say that we sell 10 units. We would have sold like 12, 15, something like that. But let's say quantity equals 10. And then the tax is 50 cents. Do I know the size of the tax now? Yes, you do. So if you had 50 cents times 10, that's 50% of 10. You've got 50 cents times 10 you got a $5 tax. That's the quantity times the size of the tax, 50 cents. You follow? Then who pays what? My tax incidence is as follows. Well, the buyer is paying 25 cents over a 10 quantity, so they are paying $2.50 of the $5. And then the seller is getting $4.75, but the price is $5, so they're paying in 25 cents times 10. The seller is paying $2.50, and then you add them up, and there's your $5 tax. But your incidence is who's paying what, and you break that down. Now, we started out this video series with an introduction of elasticity, and then I did a second video on the supply and demand curves in terms of their elastic shape, their pitch, their rise over run, their slope, and that tells you whether it's elastic, inelastic, or unit elastic. We'll come back for the next video, and I'm going to throw some graphs up here, and you're going to see how this tax incidence may change. See, both of these, demand and supply, look pretty unit elastic. Let's go through an exercise where we have an inelastic demand and a elastic supply and vice versa, and run through them and see who pays more. See you in the next video.